Hello, everyone. This is the Abundance Oracle today on Sunday. And one of the things I want to talk to you about is FDIC protection. Everybody knows, well, I'm not saying, most people should know that your bank account is supposed to give you $250,000 worth of protection for each Social Security number. So if you have a LLC or other things, that would be a separate account, or your kids have accounts, but they're in the same bank. Those are all separate, not one. Okay, now, what you need to know is if there were, and I'm not saying there's going to be, but if it happened once, it can happen again. And most people have such great lives, even if you're struggling, you have great lives compared to the past in history. There's only a certain amount of insurance that is stored away to pay for these $250,000, I'm going to call them rebates. It's like it's insurance, basically. What they're trying to say is you should feel comfortable leaving all that money in a bank. Well, this was devised during the Great Depression, where people did bank runs. That means everybody started to learn by radio or friends, word of mouth on something bad travels very quickly around the United States, as you know. As people started to go to the banks to get their money, there was no FDIC insurance. And people were pulling their money out of the bank system because they were going to lose it all. If you were one of the lucky few who knew enough in the beginning to get in there and pull your money out, you got your money. 98% of people didn't. So only those who had things in their own possession survived. Everybody else was devastated. And it was one way to wipe out really a whole generation's worth of wealth building. And I know you've all seen the pictures, just like I have, of all these depression, homeless camps and things like that. Now, if you start to look around on the news lately, you're going to notice, is that too bright? You're going to notice there's a lot more homeless camps. In fact, President Trump is trying to clean up and get rid of the camps in Washington, D.C. Well, these homeless places are all over the place. I follow a gentleman, Jeremiah and B-A-B-E, Babe, and he is moving out of California and going to Alabama, but he has been showing in his nightly news reviews, he has been showing how much homelessness there is in different parts of California. And as he and his wife were looking for a new place to live, they would travel across the country, drive, or sometimes he would drive with Enrique, his friend, to look and sort of assess other places to live. So he's seen a lot of homelessness. He's seen a lot of lines for free food. I mean, miles long sometimes. And you are not going to see that on the regular news media. You are not going to know, if you're not following some of the things on YouTube, some of the other people on YouTube, what's actually happening in different places of the country. So this $250,000 insurance, if it was around, it would have saved some people. But if you have over $250,000, which some people do, in one account, you may not be able to get that money back. I suggest you have a couple different banks, and the other thing you may do, depending upon what your situation is figure out how you can store some of your wealth in non-traditional assets. A lot of people were wiped out when they lost 50-60%, not only in 1929 with a great stock market crash, but in time when people have invested. It's usually a 7 to 10 year cycle in the stock market when something is generated so that the stock market goes down a lot. You might remember 2008, 2007, 8, 9, not just stocks, but also housing. We're due for a downturn, and yet the markets keep getting propped up so that it doesn't happen right now. We don't know when all that is going to collapse. Just the silver markets. Okay, I won't get into all this, but you need to know that you need to spread out your money, and you need to be careful which banks. The best, the longest lasting bank in the United States, and the best because they had good reserves, was Marblehead Savings in Marblehead, Massachusetts. You got to go look that up. It's a great bank in Marblehead, Massachusetts. Look up banks in Marblehead, Massachusetts. Start to look at reserve savings. It's far away for most people, but you need to find out which banks have the philosophies that are going to rescue you if there's a big problem. And I'm not saying there's going to be a big problem. However, I don't know if you follow Ray Dalio. He's also concerned because we're coming to the end of a cycle. End of a cycle. And you need to be aware what ends of cycles look like so that you can protect yourself just in case. Just in case. Especially if you have a family or someone else that wouldn't like to be living in one of those homeless camps that you have to take care of. Crazy talk to most of the people, most of my friends. You need to be aware. You need to educate yourself. Better to educate yourself on the worst possible situation and protect yourself from that happening. And then you build up the next. So as you build wealth, you need to be careful. I mean, I am also, you trust certain institutions. And as you're going to be finding out, some of these larger institutions are meant to steal things from you. Your health, your well-being, your family, even your family, turn your children into opposite sex and take away your ability to guide your children. Bank accounts. So you need to open your eyes. Forget whether you're on the right side or left side, Democrat or Republican. You need to look at what's being set up to happen in our country and be aware. Autism used to be 1 in 31,000. Now it's 1 in 31 kids get autism. So hopefully Kennedy is working on that. But there's a lot of things going on. So in your quest to build abundance, it has to be increasing your knowledge. You can't just be one-sided. You need to increase your knowledge, your learning base. And most of all, you need to increase the people that you know that are wise and aware of what's going on, even if you disagree with what they say. You have to understand their point of view, because we've been sold a bucket of goods. Different people are thinking different things. That's been taught on purpose to divide our country, because we're the last country that needs to be conquered to have a one world government. All right, enough said. Too much said. Love you all. Be well. Take care of yourselves. Talk to you later. Please comment below or just like it, like the video. Nobody sees your name if you just like the video. I'm trying to build out and learn who's who in my followers. Thank you. Love you all. Bye-bye.